TGCRequiem here. We are back with blue-black Tezzeret. Actually, I think this is pretty decent. Witchbane Orb is normally a terrible card to have in your opening hand. There's only a handful of matchups you want it. But with the Talisman, we actually could even get it down as early as turn 3 potentially, and otherwise these are pretty decent cards for an opening in this deck. So let's give it a roll. Opponent gave the good luck, have fun. Probably should do it myself. Along with being courteous to your fellow magician. I'm going to put my opponent on Reverse Shadow based on the thought going into this opening line. Infect. I love the art on this breeding pool. So, yeah, alright, so Infect. Breeding pool enters the battlefield. You may pay 2 life. If you don't, breeding pool enters the battlefield. Really wish these cards had been full art. So pretty. Alright, blue, green, Infect. This is not a great matchup. We're going to probably play heavily towards the Thopter Foundry here. May get a little bit lucky with the Bantu. Their opponent missed their land drop. Take the one off. Oy vey. The bubble's actually pretty good here. We are going to have to get into a position where we can really maximize on getting our hand down quick enough to, let's see here, quick enough to make a snaring bridge really solid. I think what we're going to have to do is Collective Brutality, pitching the Witchbane Orb, and possibly the Talisman. Right now we're not in a position where we need the Talisman. We're going to be able to cast our Bantu. I think we do need to kill one of their Infect creatures and take a pump spell right now. The other concern I have, we're not too concerned here based on their creature suite about regular damage. So we're definitely pitching Witchbane. That doesn't really do anything here. We want to plan to Bantu the next turn, but we could still then just lose to the Inkmoth Nexus. So I think we have to get rid of 3 to really just kind of pressure our opponent. Or pitch 2 cards, right? So then the next turn we could use Thopter Foundry to start. Maybe we need the Talisman for that. And the Inkmoth is going to be a little bit of a problem. I don't want to keep the Talisman, but again, I guess we can cast the Talisman the next turn and still have 2 mana up in case we're to get like another Collective Brutality or go Thopter Foundry. We don't really need the life, so I think we actually, yeah, let's just go. Target creature gets -2. Whoa. let's back that up. 2 modes. Target creature gets -2/-2, and we're going to take a sorcery and instead. I mean, odds of us getting actually so low that we can bridge anyway, not super high. So we're going to pitch Witchbane Orb, Apostle's Blessing, and Distortion Strike. So the opponent actually... Yeah, we're just taking the Apostle's Blessing here. That way they can't protect it from removal. The Distortion Strike doesn't really matter. And the Snaring Bridge down, it does allow it to block like a Thopter Foundry, so it's not like it's irrelevant, but it's no different than if we have a Thopter Foundry. Either of these cards can get the creature through is what I'm getting at. But Apostle Blessing can actually protect a creature from removal. I think what we're really looking for here is that our opponent runs out, maybe they get a land and they run out Hierarch and Elf, and then we can get a blowout with a Bantu's Last Reckoning. We're going to have to throw this Bantu's Last Reckoning down almost certainly now. We just don't have many draw steps here. So Pithing Needle on Nexus is great. Actually, I think we do have a little bit of a window. Let's think this through before we go too crazy. Start by going to get an eye. We could cast Talisman, cast Pithing Needle on Inkmoth. They then potentially run out the Glistener Elf. Glistener Elf attacks. Global Hierarch 2, Distortion Strike 3. We're dead to any of the pumps. I think we actually run Bantu here. Hope we draw a land, then Pithing Needle the Inkmoth. Problem is they still have the Glistener Elf. The question is whether or not we want to risk the odds of them having Groundswell. What do they need? They just need a Groundswell, Might of Old Crosia, Vines of the Vastwood. I think we can't afford it. I think we just have to hope we luck sack into a land so that we can needle the Inkmoth the next turn, unfortunately. I suppose we could have baubled first. But we would have died if we took the other route. But by going all in on the Inkmoth now, they do so that if we draw a land, we can Pithing Needle the Inkmoth. They have to play a Glistener Elf, which buys us yet another turn. So, drawn the growth yet. Snap. Oh, we're beat. So if the temple were an upright land, in this case, we would have been able to play Pivy Needle. That would have bought us another turn. I don't think we still would have been able to do anything. I think the Glistener Elf still gets us the next turn, because we still could go, what, Talisman, Thopter Foundry. I suppose we would still then theoretically have a mana to sack to block the Glistener Elf, so maybe, but they would have had Distortion Strike, so no, we were losing that one either way. Alright, so we'll be on the play this time, and we can be a little better against Infect post board. So Chalice is pretty great here. I think we probably... we need 2 needles. Definitely want the pushes. In similar situation to other decks where the Chalice and the push can kind of offset each other, but we need stuff fast, and that's really what it comes to. We don't need Witchbane Orb. Liliana's good. Vitality's decent. Search might actually be a little slow here. It does give us some card filtering. I just bored to wait for it. You know, we are going to definitely see some artifact hate applied to creatures, so one Pivy Needle. Do we want to? I don't know that we really want to. Don't really need a lot of win cons. Against Infect, it's really about just buying yourself the time to get to a win con. We have Thopter Foundry, Sword of the Meek. That is a win. Probably want at least another win. What else do we cut here? Be a Talisman. Getting a little across the board. Maybe we only need one welding jar. Yes, we would like to be on the play. Yes, we would like to go Chalice on 1 turn 2 and hold up Fatal Push turn. I think we're going to lead on Delta. Throw out the Opal. Not particularly necessary, but it's fine. So ideally they run out a Glistener Elf, we kill the Glistener Elf, and then we Chalice. Noble Hierarch's fine too. And we're not terribly concerned about our life total in this matchup. Occasionally they'll get you with regular damage, but probably not through. Although Noble Hierarch, it is worth noting, Noble Hierarch is the card that can get through, not the, but one of the cards that can consistently get through Snaring Bridge. Invention, beautiful. So really what we're looking at We can whir for bridge next turn if we wanted, right? No, I guess not. Not technically. A little bit of help. Agent. With a little bit of help. Oh, so the question here, if we play Talisman, we spend 2, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, so can't technically whir. We might actually want to just whir for Thopter Foundry even. We could crack the bauble for a blocker. The opponent's not going to have much in the way of pump. But if, well, I guess they can't Might of Old Croja anyway, so they're going to ping us, they're going to ping us for 1. I guess really I probably would have preferred to just play the Talisman there now that I think about it. We really aren't probably doing anything with her here. We need to though. Bridge is the highest upside. When you get like Luxact and draw a Welding Jar, then that just really kind of saves the day. Also, a Challenge for 1 probably hits them if they're running Nature's Claim as their artifact hate instead of, presumably they have a Viridian Corruptor, but now we protect whichever one of these things they're trying to blow up. They could also have what, this Druid's Deliverance or Dissenter's Deliverance, something it is. So the one problem we're going to potentially have here is we're going to give our opponent a lot of draw steps. So yeah, we do have to use this. We use our artifact mana as much as possible. That way we still have a couple lands next turn, and then we will bauble our opponent here. Because they cannot get a... Well, let's be careful here. Actually, let's wait till their upkeep. We don't need the card this turn. Getting draw might. Opponent just concedes, nothing to do. Again, the flip side of this is we were in a position where, because we pulled everything, we're going to take a while to win, but it's fine. Being on the draw is going to be a little more painful than that. So we're 1-1 so far. Can't promise it's gonna go much better than it did the last turn, the last game. So is it Druid's Deliverance or Dissenter's Deliverance that cycle to destroy, or is it cycle or destroy? Not Druids, Dissenters Deliverance? Yeah. So you can cycle for green or destroy targeted artifact. Again, presumably they wouldn't have it if they had an out. I think we just got to run this back and just play the tiny number of outs to win the game. You know, like our deck is unfortunately just not geared to beat a deck like Infect right now because it's such a small part of the meta, and certainly, obviously, Chalice of the Void can help us get there. This is tough. So we could just lose before we ever cast a Collective Brutality. Our opponent did mulligan to 6. We're going to get a draw. We have a bauble, and we're going to get to scry. Liliana could be really strong. Actually, I think we do keep this here. Opponent mulligans to 5, 4. And keep that hand. Got some cautious optimism here. Venner's Fair, we put that on top. That's actually really, really good. Don't really have any need to crack the bauble immediately. I suppose we do set ourselves up to be in pretty good shape if we can drop Liliana on. So we should wait till after we can Brutality next turn because we'll have more information. Use the Brutality to look at what our opponent is about to draw. Inky's good here. Mutagenic growth coming. We're just going to do 2 modes here. Fine with me. And a Pendelhaven. Now they're going to draw Mutagenic Growth. We'll just hope to draw an upright land so that we can make them lose the, yes, awesome. Make them lose the Noble Hierarch here. We're going to be able to activate Inkmoth, pump it with Pendelhaven, attack with Noble Hierarch. That's going to get 3 Infect through. They can Mutagenic Growth, getting 5 Infect through. don't think they do that here because they can win with the mutagenic growth next turn. I guess we do know. Oh yeah, that is a problem too. We could get them to burn the mutagenic growth to save the noble hierarch. Positive EV for us. So let's think. We can Temple of Deceit, Collective Brutality. How are we getting this word out? We're almost in a position where we might want to Collective Brutality pitch the Liliana. Then we have an outside chance of pouring to I think we just got to down tick the opponent has us on 2-turn clock if they draw a strong spell. Kill the hierarch. I mean, if we kill the hierarch, we're still potentially just dead to mutagenic. Not even mutagenic growth. If we kill the hierarch or get them to save with mutagenic growth, we're still potentially just dead to the freaking whatever the card is, like a groundswell, but Might of Old Croja. We have 3 Infect. What do you think about this? So if we cast Collective Brutality and they protect the Noble Hierarch, they have 1, 3, 2. That buys us a turn. However, if they activate Ink Moth, Mutagenic Growth, yeah, so sorry. So if they have Mutagenic Growth, they can Mutagenic Growth the Ink Moth. Mutagenic Growth thing. After the Mutagenic Growth, that puts it 3, so 6, and then they could just still hate. So either way, we got to get rid of the mutagenic growth. I think we're actually looking at the best line here is just to play Liliana an uptick. Just don't think we're realistically in a spot where we're going to be able to. We're in time anyway. And so this makes it, I guess, shoot. Hold on. So if they have the noble, though, they still can beat us with that line, right? So we're kind of pinched either way, which it means that I think we just play the Liliana because it gives us the most long-term value. What do we have? Get rid of the really need a fatal push, basically. So we have to get rid of the Collective Brutality here because our line is essentially play Deceit and a 2-drop. Oh, no. I guess we could also just, if we draw blue. I got a lot of thoughts running through my here. Anyway, short story is we could whir for like a Pithing Needle on the Ink Moth. Again, if they have a Might of Old Crozier here, we're just done. In some ways, I'm kind of hoping they attack the Liliana. Yeah, so we're just kind of need this. We can win eventually. I think we have to. We're just dead to any pump spell next turn. We have to get rid of the Noble Hierarch at this point. They have the Noble Hierarch that makes Vines of Vastwood. We're already dead to any of their pump spells, basically. If we had a blue land, we could have word for Pithing Needle. Did not draw one. I gotta hope our opponent gets land. We can word for Pithing Needle this next turn if we make it through the turn. I guess we're not dead to any of theirs. So the fact that they use the Pendlehaven, though, indicates that they probably have like a Might or a Groundswell. So they would have played the land if they wanted the Groundswell. They can't cast Become Immense. Mutagenic Growth is now not lethal where it would have been before. So I think they just got to jam. Yeah, that's the Might. That's game. So close. We actually were so close. It's a good game. Infect's tough. Again, we don't have a good matchup, so we're a little slower here trying to think through what we can do to shut it down. Maybe we should have mulliganed harder, but especially on the draw. The fact that our opponent mulliganed, though, made us have a little more hope than we thought maybe we should have had. Damnation would have done us a whole lot of good. Chalice eventually does. Oh well. Well, if you enjoy, please give a like if you'd like to, and if you want to subscribe, then you'll get some notifications when we post some new videos. Otherwise, have a good night.